And now, ladies and gentlemen, he's been waiting calmly and carefully. He's been on our show many, many times. We're very happy to have him. We're now talking to former Packers, Bills, and Buccaneers defensive tackle, Jerel Worthy. Jerel, what's up, man?
Man, what's up with you guys, man? Excited to be back once again with the crew. You had some questionable statements before I came on, but I roll with it a little bit, man. So I'm happy to be back with you guys, man. Thank you guys again.
I love my string cheese, and Jabba makes fun of me because he's like, you don't eat cheese, you don't eat string cheese like that. So what I do is I just cut it in half and I eat one side and the other. Jabba, he likes to take one slice.
It's called string cheese for a reason.
Listen, watch how I eat my string cheese, ladies and gentlemen.
Like a serial killer.
I am a serial killer. I love those serial killer movies. By the way, 𝐻𝐿 is coming on Netflix. I'm going to love it. I'm trying to open up this wrapper. It's not very good. Here it is. There it is. Here it is. You see? You see this? Watch this. This is what I do. Look at that. Half. Yummy. Delicious.
There's got to be a study done for how people eat their string cheese, though.
100%.
It's cheese. You gotta eat it. I'm eating it. I'm enjoying it. Listen, I gotta have my protein, right? I mean, I haven't had a chance all day. I was just coming from the gym before the show started, and me and Jabba, I was texting Jabba. I was like, cut off those fat cells. I'm cutting and I'm eating the protein, baby. Eating protein. Anyways. I swallowed it. There you go. Anyways, I want to get into the Buccaneers and the Jets. You played for the Buccaneers, and there's a lot of questions of this team going into the season. Todd Bowles, with the talent that he has, this team is fully loaded and ready to win a Super Bowl. This is a team that really was looked at over the last couple of years as Bruce Arians' team. It finally became Todd Bowles' team with Baker Mayfield over the last 2 seasons, and they've been completely different. Obviously, Baker Mayfield's a different personality than Tom Brady. He brings a kind of different look to the quarterback play. What are your thoughts to the Buccaneers? Do you think that this team is for real?
Yeah, I definitely think they're for real, especially looking at that division, man. You know, the Saints are up and down. Panthers, quote unquote, are supposed to be still in a rebuilding year. And the Falcons, they went over this weekend, man. So it's definitely the division for the Buccaneers to take. And when you got, competent quarterback play like Baker Mayfield is doing, and then you have the receivers that are going in the games making plays, and you got their young guys making plays now. So I think that's the biggest thing is, Mike Evans left with a hamstring injury, and they didn't even lose a beat offensively. So at the end of the day, man, I think the division is definitely theirs for the taking.
Now, my question is, you're a defensive player. Is Will McDonald for real? I mean, this guy is a sick with athletic ability that we watched this kid jump over cars, all right? This guy literally jumps over cars. And then what he did at the end of the game was remarkable. The last person I've seen do something like that was Troy Polamalu. We all know how talented Polamalu is as a safety. Mm-hmm. This guy is a defensive lineman. He's not even a safety. And what he did was absolutely ridiculous. Could be the play of the week. What were your thoughts when you watched something like that and see somebody of that magnitude do something so ridiculous like that?
Well, honestly, God blesses everybody differently, and he's definitely got that God-given talent to just, create that type of explosion and jump over a line. I mean, you got to realize those guys are like 6'5", 350-some pounds. So to have that type of strength and explosion to jump over him, man, and you obviously see what that play did for his coach there. I think at the end of the day, man, this is probably one of the most athletic plays to come from a D-line position and jump over a guy. I don't think we've ever seen something like that done. I think it was out in Seattle. The guys did that. Chancellor did that a little bit ago, but that was, he's a DB. We're talking the D lineman coming from a 3-point stance and jumping over a guy. That's unbelievable.
So the young defensive tackle movement has really been a big thing. The Buccaneers, we were just talking about, have 2 very good ones. Unfortunately, one, 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 got lost for the season. We were talking about the Eagles earlier with the 2 that they have, and they're showing their athleticism on special teams. Are you seeing it become much more of a value position, especially like a lot of these younger guys that are being drafted earlier?
Yeah, man, it is a value position. I think any position that affects the quarterback from a defensive perspective is a value position, whether that be getting tackles for loss or pushing guys back in the backfield and rushing the passer. Like you see, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, their ability to block the field goal twice in a game, which is unbelievable. But just, you're starting to see these defensive tackles become even more athletic, man. They're getting down in the low fours as far as their 40-yard dashes and everything. So I think the game is moving in the right direction, man. As the quarterbacks become more athletic, the linemen have to do so as well.
Yeah, I mean, hey, big fellas need love too, baby. Let's do it.
We do, man. Absolutely.
Sure. No, but on that note too, like from the defensive side, what do you think? There's always serviceable, there's always good, and then there's great. Like, what do you think separates the good from the great from them guys where you just kind of shake your head and you're like, it doesn't surprise me he did that?
Yeah, I think, everything comes down to moments in the game, right? You talk about the NFL, you talk about, NCAA with the big time college football that we have on Saturdays with, these specimens walking into the NFL now. I definitely think that it's an underrated position that people kind of overlook until it's needed, right? Until you have an Aaron Donald, until you have a Chris Jones or a Jalen Carter on your team, like you kind of overlook it. But man, those are the game wreckers, and it's starting to open things up for a lot of those guys on the edge. Everybody wants to get caught up with a lot of the finesse and the speed that's on the edge, but at the end of the day, that quarterback has to step up in the pocket. And when these guys step up in the pocket, they're running into these monsters in the middle. And so, Philadelphia, they went about it the right way. And you start to see a lot of these Super Bowl teams, they're building out from the interior out to their skill guys.
We are talking to Packers, Bills, and Buccaneers former defensive tackle Jerel Worthy. He's been on a show plenty of times. We love him. He coaches football. He does a lot of things offset of what he was as an NFL player. But there's a guy in the NFL I'm not too fond of, okay? And don't worry, you're going to know in just a few moments. Deion Sanders went on a podcast and said that this guy is not being used right. He is not being used right. This guy is one of the most athletically gifted players the NFL's ever seen, and said before he was drafted that this guy is the next Prime. This guy might be better than Prime. Travis Hunter's played in 3 games. 3 games. Cohen decided to make him a wide receiver instead of a corner. He's played both positions. He hasn't been very good at the corner position, and he hasn't been good at a wide receiver. They moved up from 5 to 2, gave up a significant portion of future draft picks because they thought that this guy could be the next big star in the NFL. The only thing he's become, in my eyes, is the gremlin. If there's another movie, and if he needs to star in a movie to make some extra money after 7 years of absolute debacle, ladies and gentlemen, Gremlins 3, starring Travis the Gremlin Hunter. That's the way I go. Why do you think Travis Hunter really hasn't so far in 3 games developed the way everybody thought he was going to be?
Yeah, it's been tough for their entire offense. If you really want to break down the film, man, Brian Thomas Jr. coming off that amazing rookie year hasn't really seen anywhere close to the numbers that he has the first year. And so I think coming into it, that was essentially the Jaguars' number one option, or essentially that's what they're anticipating is their number one option. And so, T. Hunter's going out there trying to do some things. He's still a rookie trying to make some plays, but I think the play calling has to be situated to where, how the Chiefs use 𝐿𝐴𝐫𝐴 Worthy in terms of, over routes, high crossing routes, reverses, anything that kind of gets them, on the edge using their skills and their ability. And we just really haven't seen that, right now in Jacksonville. And to be honest with you, Trevor Lawrence hasn't been looking good either. So, I mean, we could possibly see with all the firepower that they do have a massive overhaul in Jacksonville before they get that new stadium up and rolling, man. Because I think at the end of the day, offensively, they're going to have to start competing in that division, man. You got the Colts with Daniel Jones sitting there at 3-0 right now. And obviously the Jags are trying to figure some things out, man. So it's an open division to be taken for the taking, man. And the Jags definitely have to get their stuff together.
Listen, I'm helping everybody out. When I do this means dimes, baby. Danny Dimes. No more of the Manziel. That's not Money Manziel. This is Danny Dimes. I want everybody to do that. Every time Daniel Jones wins, you got to give him some dimes, baby. Give him some money. Yep. Throw some dimes at him, or whatever you want to do. But I want to say something about Travis Hunter that I've been watching. And I want everybody to understand something. I said that it doesn't matter if he is the corner or the wide receiver. If he plays corner 70% of the time, he will not have one interception this year. Not one. And I'm going to say this again. If he has a touchdown this year, it won't be until Game 6 or Game 7. I just don't think Travis Hunter has it, and I think he needs to sit down and watch film. You can see it. He's not running the right routes. He's made some mistakes on the football field. I watched Jacksonville just to make fun of him. I actually bought a number 12 jersey with the gremlin on the back of it because I can't stand the man. I was at his Heisman Trophy, when he won his Heisman Trophy. Yeah. I went back and forth with this man, all right? And he told me straight out, I'm a Jet fan, and he told me, you don't want to go to the Jets. The Jets stink. What makes the Jaguars any better? So you go out, you're taking a shot at the New York Jets. I would agree
with that one. I honestly, man, I think he would actually thrive in the Jets offense right now compared to what he's getting down there with Trevor Lawrence, man. And honestly, man, I think, man, Trevor Lawrence could possibly need a change of scenery. It's not like he's like Matthew Stafford and just, was just bad for, really good for a bad team. But I mean, right now he's, again, ever since that AFC Championship a few years ago, man, he hasn't been even remotely close in that division. And we're talking about a division that's been terrible for quite some time, man. I mean, Houston, we thought they were going to run away with it, and now they're 0-3. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're terrible already in a bad division, I mean, I don't know why, Mr. Khan, the owner there with the Jags, are kind of pitting up with it, man. I think right now, you got two dominant receivers on the outside. I would look to personally move on from Trevor Lawrence at some point in time, man, to see what you can build up around that young football team.
Oh, there's no question. And by the way, where do you think he plays? What do you think? If you were the coach of the team, is he a wide receiver or a corner? Travis Hunter.
So I would personally use him at wide receiver. I think more so. I think he'll be more dynamic in that aspect of it. I think at the end of the day, in the NFL, the wide receiver, I mean, cornerbacks are still asked to tackle and be physical tacklers and be guys that come up and set the edge. And when that ball bounces out, and you got a Josh Jacobs bouncing out to a small corner like that, like you're expected to make that play and you're expected to turn that thing back into the rest of the guys. And so I think at the end of the day, we've seen his physicality kind of been up and down. It's struggled with that a little bit. I think learning wide receiver is going to be a little bit of a easier fix than it is playing corner, man, because corner is a dynamic and that's an attitude. Like that's a personality that you have to come with every single day. You have to live by it. And so right now, I think, in Jacksonville, he'll figure it out offensively. They're going to have to find ways to get them the ball. Otherwise, their front office is going to look like fools. Whether they're winning by 21 or down by 21, they're going to have to find ways to make him stand out and look good.
So another team you played for, the Buffalo Bills, obviously very close to the Super Bowl last year, lost in controversial fashion, probably got to the referees and the Chiefs helping them out too. Yeah. But Josh Allen winning MVP and Allen looking like he could be an MVP candidate again this year. Bills, is it kind of like a boomer bust type situation for them? Like they've been so close, but just not getting over the hump yet.
No, it is. I mean, when you really look at it, their roster's not stacked with a ton of talent, and they're looking very polished offensively right now. I know defensively they're still trying to work some guys in. You got some veterans that have come back that have used to have been part of that, that thriving secondary. They're still trying to figure some things out. And I think at the end of the day, they're going to have to find some pass rush on a consistent basis because again. Guys are going to want to try to keep the ball away from them. I mean, when you talk about how explosive they are offensively, I'm worried about time of possession. And if they get into those games where, you play a Baltimore or you play a Kansas City where they can take it 10, 12, 15 play drives. Like, you're going to want to, have a defense that can get these guys off the field. And I think their defense is right now the question mark. Offensively, man, they got a bunch of guys that are trying to figure it out. I'm really excited about 𝐾𝐿 Coleman and his development this year. And we'll see, how they move forward, man. But I think right now they got Josh Allen looking like the LeBron James of football right now. So he's got to continue to keep that play like it, and that defense is going to have to catch up.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to switch gears on you a little bit. I'm going to take it back to college. And obviously Big Ten to Big Ten. I was Big 12 because I'm old and crusty now.
Yeah.
But you had a chance to play the Huskers 1 year, and that was in 2011 at Memorial Stadium. Sorry you came out with the L.
We did not get that one done. Listen.
Yeah. Y'all was having a great year too.
Yeah, we were. And honestly, I think we got caught up in all the friendliness of the fans out in Lincoln. And like,
that was going to be my question.
It's one of the best stadiums. The fans are great. We got a lot of positive energy. And I think that's the tactic, man. We walked in and we got a little soft because everybody was patting us on the back a little bit. And Rex Burkhead, man, I ain't gonna lie. I think he went off for like 3 touchdowns on us. He had a day. He definitely had a day.
It's so funny.
Yeah, that's what people
people
don't know how nice Nebraska is. That is kind of our MO, because I've had buddies that have played and they're like, we were getting beaten. I didn't know whether to be pissed off or like these people were like, thanks for coming, wish y'all good luck, like. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what it is.
It's weird. It's a weird feeling coming in there. So I definitely understand. Now I think we got you guys this weekend. I hope.
Yep. After the bye week, we got a bye week this week.
So next weekend, bro, I hope we don't get caught up in that, man. I hope we have a chip on our shoulder because we showed up a little bit out there at USC. That high-powered offense, we tried to do the very best we can, keeping up with those guys. But we'll have to show up, man, because Raiola's not no slouch, man, and he can get it done in Nebraska. So we gotta come ready to play.
Well, they call them the Corn Huskers. I've got a new nickname for them: Nebraska Corn Muffins. I like my corn muffin with some butter on it.
They showed up a little bit against Michigan. Obviously, we don't ever like to see the Block M get a dub in any capacity, but.
Who doesn't like a fried corn muffin?
Yeah.
Jerel, you say we have to investigate them for cheating again for the way they came back in the second half?
Yeah, listen, I still want to check the records on that one.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I still want to check for sure. They had a whole operation going on, man. That was a crazy thing to see. And then, man, listen, I definitely want to know Harbaugh's methods, man. I got to figure it out, man. He's got these methods where he just rides off in the sunset, man, and continues to keep coaching. So it's pretty cool to see him. He got the formula. He's got the formula.
We are talking to former Packers, Bills, and Buccaneers defensive tackle Jerel Worthy. He's been on our show. And speaking of the Packers, what the hell happened on Sunday? How do you lose against the Cleveland Browns? How do you get embarrassed? You were out there, you played the Lions, you smashed up the Lions, embarrassed the Lions in just absolute great fashion, and then all of a sudden you lay up a lousy goose egg against a Cleveland Browns team that has no business being on the same field as you. What the hell is going on with the Packers? Are we watching a Packers team play the seesaw game this year? Are they going to be consistent enough where they could be a Super Bowl contender? Because after watching that game, I'm going to tell you a big, lousy no.
Yeah, it was tough to see, to be honest with you. And honestly, it was just tough to see Jordan Love consistent, make those, I would say those late game errors like he's done in the past. I mean, we've kind of thought that we as a team, we were over that. And we've shown some maturity in that area, but I mean, we still got a ways to go. I think at the end of the day, he's still the guy for the job. He's still, as long as LaFleur is calling those plays, man, we're going to have an opportunity offensively. But it was a trap game for us, man. Our defense was still back in Green Bay. They still were, back hanging out at Brett Favre's Steakhouse. So I think at the end of the day, if we would have got them on the plane with us and they showed up, man, then obviously we could have been a lot better. And I'm not saying they didn't show up because we held them under 21 points, but we're talking about Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns. I mean, their running back just got signed 2 weeks ago, so I mean, it's not like they have a ton of firepower running around. Defensively, they're definitely some headhunters, but I mean, I think at the end of the day, if we want to win a championship with Green Bay, man, they're going to have to figure that out, man, because you can't have these trap games along the way. That costs you a number one seed down the road.
Speaking of smelling, I mean, Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. I know you're Aaron's friend. I know you root Aaron on. I mean, he absolutely is a complete bust with the New York Jets, okay? I want to throw up.
That was bad. That was bad.
Bad? I mean, being bad is just being generous, being nice, okay? Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. He goes to Pittsburgh, then he puts up 4 touchdowns in his game number 1 against the New York Jets. And then I understand Pittsburgh is 2-1, but it is a lousy 2-1. He has not looked good. I'm sorry for all you Aaron Rodgers fans, and I was one of them at one point. I mean, he hasn't looked good. He looks old. Your thoughts to Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, it does look he does look a step behind. And honestly, man, it's really bad to see a Pittsburgh team not be physical up front offensively, because that's really what they've always been known for. And I thought that, once he came to Pittsburgh, the old style of run and then those quick passes that Ben Roethlisberger used to, make a killing on, and, they're taking 5-yard slants, 80 yards to the crib. Like, I thought that, A-Rod would be able to fit into that mold because, again, Big Ben wasn't as mobile in his last few years, but the team's still 9 and 10 win seasons, 11 win seasons. And so at the end of the day, I'm thinking that A-Rod could have been that type of guy. But offensively, you just don't see no physicality. Like, when you show up and play a Pittsburgh team, you're used to seeing the real steel curtain, the real physicality on the O-line and in the defense and on the defensive side. And you just haven't really seen that. It's been pretty inconsistent. And again, man, we're talking about teams like the Jets. We're talking about teams like the Patriots that expectation-wise should be at the very bottom of these conferences. So they're going to have to figure this shit out, man, to be honest with you, because they've got too much talent. They have way too much invested into this season to let it go to waste, man. They've got a lot of young talent and a lot of veterans that they have to figure this shit out.
So does that say something a lot with the way the Packers operate when you were there, and even before that, when Aaron Rodgers, well, he was getting a lot of attention too with like who he was dating and stuff like that, but it wasn't to the same level you're seeing kind of the last 4 years.
Well, he's married to his Aunt Brittany. He's
married
married to his Aunt Brittany. Nobody's seen her, so he probably named his Aunt Brittany, and he said, "I'm married to her." There's the ring. I mean, come on, seriously, come on. Do you believe he's married? Come on.
He keeps it up. He definitely
Stop.
all the
Jerel, you're his friend. Stop it. Do you really think that man is married? Nobody's seen her.
Oh yeah, no. Listen,
come on.
A-Rod's a different type of guy, man. You really got to be around him to understand him, bro. He is a different type of guy, man. A few Cali guys move a little differently. They see it a little. We might see it one way. They see it a different way. So. I definitely think he's married. I think it's good for him. Believe it or not, A-Rod needs to take a break. So I'm definitely excited for that. But I mean, again, bro, it's not like he can't spin it. I think the motion of their offense right now is just bad. And there's no physicality. There's no nothing. And at the end of the day, you got to figure this out before, I would say, about week 6, man, a third of the way through the year. You got to figure this out right now. So otherwise, you're going to be sitting at home. And if that's the case, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are at home with Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin as the head coach, then there's definitely going to be some heads to roll in Pittsburgh.
You don't trust the great offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, Falcons coaching legend?
From a schematic standpoint, I do, but they don't run the ball well. And that's been his MO. Like, everywhere he's been able to get the run game going very well. Like, when they were down in Atlanta, when he was in Tennessee, like, they had a solid run game. Like, they have no run game in Pittsburgh. And at the end of the day, they paid the running back earlier this year with Warren. So you would think that he would be excited and motivated to go out there and prove that they made the right decision. So they definitely got to get their stuff together, because, again, that conference, as you can see, the Cleveland Browns can knock off a championship contender. You see the Bengals, I think, at the end of the day, have a game in them to be competitive in the division when you talk about those rivalries between Cincy and Pittsburgh. So, I mean, you never say never, man. They definitely got to figure it out.
It's always interesting people that play with Aaron Rodgers that get to know him because from fan perspective and all the other stuff, there's probably obviously a lot more to him than what he gives you on, in TV, whatever. What do you think? Like, some people may look at him as weird. Some people may think this dude is just off his rocker. Like, but you have to be good. You have to be great to do it. Like, what separated him? Because I'm a fan. Like, if you stand on your head and do 10 push-ups and breathe out of your nostrils, and that makes you good. Like, we all have our weird quirks, right? And obviously, whatever his have worked. Like, you being around him and being, in the locker room with him. Like, what separated him from the rest and doing it for as long as he has, and for being as great as he has been for years?
So I think one of the benefits, bro, he had an opportunity to really sit behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? And you had a guy that handled that pressure at a high level, but also had some swagger to him, because Brett still has some swagger, and Brett had that type of mindset where, he was going to throw that shit regardless, and you were going to live and die with it, right? And so
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Why don't you think they do that? Because we've actually had this conversation where, do you think it's more valuable for them to sit and chill, but they're not giving these dudes this opportunity now, like to learn like this? And obviously not everybody's learning behind a Brett Favre. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right, but it's just the dynamic, man, of where sports is. You see what C.J. Stroud was able to accomplish. You see what Jaden Daniels was able to accomplish, and everybody wants to kind of create that magic in a bottle. And honestly, it's hard to get a feel of a player when you haven't had a ton of tape on them, and you're starting to see like where that is now in year 2 and 3 for C.J. Stroud, and it's not like the offense is completely changed. It's not like he doesn't have Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz and all the guys that have been making plays for him in the past, right? So, what's changed in the dynamic of the explosive plays is, compared from this year, last year, and it's just the fact that they've got tape on them. And so I think obviously, when you have an electric guy like that, you got to throw him out there and kind of see where you stand with it. But if you do have some veteran leadership in front of him that he can learn from, I think the situation in New York, I think, where Jaxson Dart is physically and talent-wise, he surpassed, Russell and Jameson. So it's not much that he can really – I don't think it's much that he can really learn from a guy that throws the moon ball and a bunch of slants, right? Jaxson Dart's repertoire or his skill set of being able to put the ball wherever he needs to be is way different than those two veterans in that room. So that situation, I would you got to go off and let him, make some mistakes, right? You talk about down in New Orleans, they don't have any veteran leadership, so Ty's got to play, right? Like, I think at the end of the day, those young guys have got to play. But the other situations, like, say a Shedeur in Cleveland and things like that, like, again, he's graded out at that level because, they didn't see him as a first or second round draft pick. So it's actually more beneficial for him to sit and buy his time and then come onto the scene once you get all the tools. Because again, would Tom Brady be Tom Brady if he didn't sit behind Drew? You feel what I'm saying? Like that's really what it comes down to. Like sometimes these things work in your favor. But then when you have skill sets like a guy like Jaxson Dart, man, sometimes you might have to throw him out there, man. I think, he's got a ton of upside and a ton of potential. Bryce Young was kind of in a different scenario. When you go number 1 overall, you playing. At the end of the day, like Cam Ward, like, they'll live and die with that 0-3 as long as they can show that he's slanging it and put some points on the board. So, they'll live and die with that.
Giant fans, you should be excited. Jerel Worthy, yes, says that Jaxson Dart has upside, and he really likes him. So,
I do.
Fisherman.
He's got some moxie.
You got the Poops, you got Speedy, you got 3 Giant fans eating and loving what Daniel Jones is doing. Danny Dimes, as we all say. So maybe Jaxson Dart shows up and actually plays well. If not, they're going to be eating some dimes, as we all know. Jerel, before we let you go, man, why don't you tell the fans a little bit of what you're doing right now that you're not playing football and now you're coaching and doing all the other stuff that you're doing?
Man, so on a day-to-day basis, I work for 𝐃𝐨𝐴d Infrastructure Co. It's a massive engineering and construction firm. I actually lead our business development team in stadium construction. So
Out of Omaha.
out of Omaha, man. So a lot of these phenomenal stadiums that you'll see up in the next decade or so. Hopefully, we had an opportunity to be a part of those, like we did with SoFi Stadium. And the Arizona Cardinal Stadium and so forth. So I work for a phenomenal company during my day-to-day. And at night, I'm a coach for our youth football team and as well as a liaison for our Metro 7 youth program. So we just try to do some things, part of the community, be pillars for the next generation and, let it fly.
Well, we really appreciate you, man. We love you. When you come on the show, we always love you. You got a great personality. You know football. There's no question that you do. And there's just something about you. You're kind, collective. You know your game. And there you go. If you want some string cheese, I just ate 3 pieces, baby.
That is crazy.
That's me right there.
That's perfect.
I'm
That's
the string
so
cheese
good.
serial killer.
Hey, shout out to the graphics. Shout out to the guys with the graphics. That's awesome.
Those look like pills, not cheese.
A little questionable. Look questionable.
Anyways, we love you, Jerel. And
hey, man, it's always a pleasure to be on the show, man. I have so much fun with you guys. Great energy, and it's always a joy to be able to talk about the game of football, man. So I definitely appreciate that opportunity.
Well, hopefully in the next year you'll see us on a major network, and then you can come into the studio, hang out with us. We'll put your, you're a big guy. You're probably the size. You're a little taller than Jabba. How tall are you, Jerel?
6'3".
All right, just same size as Jabba. So you guys eye to eye.
So we're good. We're good, Jabba.
Hey, we gotta put something on this Michigan State Husker game.
We do. What you coming with, my friend? We gotta. Do I come on the next show with the results, or how do we go about that? What do you want to do, man?
I'll get your info. We got to do something though. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can wear green. I don't know if you can wear red. So we'll have to think of something.
Yeah, I know. My high school colors were red, maybe for a day. I don't know.
maybe for the show or the segment.
Yeah. I get you.
We can work something out.
Man. Well, you can't have this one behind me, but I got a few, man, that I definitely throw on you if we get this done.
How about this?
We'll figure it out for sure.
How about this? If whoever wins, you got to sign the jersey, and you both sign the jersey. You get jerseys, you send them over, and you both wear them, and then you got to go back and forth and talk about the game and see who comes out the argumental winner, no matter how close or how bad the game is.
I'm down.
I think that would be cool. I think that'd be
fun.
fun.
Be awesome.
We'll get something done for sure.
Yeah, man, you got my contact information. Reach out to me, and then we'll figure it out, man. I'm excited. I might have to go to that one, man. I don't know, man.
Well, don't ask me to go to a game. I might scare people away. Anyways, Jerel, we love you.
The string cheese you got to leave at the house.
Listen, I'm not bringing string cheese to a football game, okay? All right, Speedy will eat the sausage. He loves his sausage, as we all know.
Oh, now here we go.
Oh, my goodness. Look.
You did, bubble guts. Errol, you did say you swallowed, so.
You got to pause.
First of all, I was choking on the cheese. It got caught in the throat.
Jeez, you got to pause that. Oh my God!
It got caught in the throat. It got caught in the throat, as we all say.
All right, just keep digging. Just keep digging.
Listen, there's nobody digging, but if there's anybody digging, you know damn well I'm the one that's going to be smacking them around. There it is, the sausage man himself, Speedy Petey. As we all know.
So I guess I'm the first corpse.
Your graphics team is hilarious, bro. This is funny.
That's the fish. That's the fish. Jerel, we love you. Keep up the good work. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Man, thank you guys again, man. Have a good one.
Jerel Worthy, Packers, Bills, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Buccaneers, former defensive tackle. And we love him. He really knows his stuff.
Great.
He knows football. We have a lot of fun with him. We always do. Every year that he comes on the show, we have a lot of fun with him. And he always tells us, offset, he says, you guys are absolutely the best. You're the craziest SOBs I've ever worked with on a radio show. So we love him, as we always do.